Matter for giving this opportunity. Talking to parents, talking to teachers, school leaders, and more than all, talking to the children, it gives me a lot of pleasure because I have been doing this for more than 40 years, and my everyday starts thinking about what to talk and ends with what did I talk. It is said that God has a plan for this world, and similarly, parents have a plan for their family. So, most of the visionaries, they speak of development of the nations. Yes, whether it is India or America or any other nation, the visionaries of that nation, they always speak about its development. And like the very basic unit of the society is a family. And if families are developed, communities are developed. If communities are developed, nations are developed. So nation cannot develop just vaguely like that on its own. It has to happen in a unit called family. And what is family development? The development of the children is the development of the family, in fact. Then if we consider what is the development of the children, like maybe in our families, we might be knowing that parents used to tell, oh, my great grandfather used to live in that place, in that type of a house. Like, my father lived in a better house, in a better place than myself, then next is my children. So that growth that takes place, that enlightenment that takes place, itself is development. So before I further speak, I generally take, it's my I don't call it a requisite, but it's a request from my audiences. If you have any urgent work than this, I think what I am talking about to talk, if it is already known to you, I think you don't have to waste your time sitting here for another 1 hour. Second thing, if you have more important phone calls, I think you can please take the phone, finish them up and come. Otherwise, you please give rest to your phone by either putting it in your pocket in silent mode, or otherwise, I request you to please keep it away from your hands so that your hands are habituated to handle it. Okay, I want you to handle with the information I want to talk to you. So third request will be, we will see no movement, okay, including Ganesh and everybody, my friends. Everybody will be seated because that gives an order, okay, to the place, and we'll all be engaged and involved. And my last request will be, it is not going to be a one-way talk, it is going to be an interactive talk. I generally, as a teacher, I do always have a count, okay, wherever I go. So I think we have around 38 adults and about 18 kids in this room. So adults have their own take homes as well as kids also. Okay, I think they had enough entertainment. Okay, shall we all put our hands together to appreciate all the young boys who have really made us forget the burden of waiting. Okay, because I coined a phrase like waiting is such a punishment, it is more severe than imprisonment. Waiting is such a punishment, it is more severe than imprisonment, because in imprisonment we know when we get released, but in waiting we don't get to know when we get released. So they made us really use this time. So I happened to read a book called Waiting Games. You know, how to convert waiting also into some good learning and benefit us instead of feeling boredom of waiting. So once again, Suchair and Sri Raj, okay, and that little thin girl, I don't know what's the name. Oh, Reina and everybody, you have done a fabulous job. I think we'll all appreciate you. Okay, this is the time that like we identify kids when they become adults who are going to sit this side and who are going to sit that side. Okay, so I think we had a clarity. So there are some kids who are going to occupy this side in the future. So we don't have to worry that like who would be entertaining us or who will be educating us. So setting all these aside, bringing our moods back to what we have gathered here to talk. Indian diaspora is very widely spread out in this world, but we carry a lot of culture, we carry a lot of diversity in our unity, and we are unique wherever we go. Either we think to ourselves or else others think of us, because our roots are as such. Whatever the subculture, sub-linguistic culture, regional culture, okay, religious culture we belong to, but we are unique. We carry a different strong message into the world. But the impact of what's going on around in the world is pushing into such questions. What's going to happen to our kids? What will be the future of our kids? Whether they continue to carry forward our culture, our values, our relationships, our affections, our responsibilities, or else are they really going to be affected by the world that is very strongly encroaching the families? So now today, before I talk, I would like to ask a couple of questions for your participation and interaction. How many of you do think really that you completely 100% understand your kids? Okay, right. So the answer is we need to know how to understand our children more and more. Yes. People who are married for even 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, also at a point of time, one of the partner would be telling the other partner, I am with you for decades, but I don't understand how you think sometimes, how you decide certain things, and so on. Yes, understanding fellow human beings is not an easy task. Understanding kids is not an easy task. Parenting is considered and categorized under two very prominent activities. One is the most joyful thing in the world, and as well as the most difficult thing in the world. Because no child comes with a manual. isn't it? So they get revealed, okay, day by day. So what you see a child yesterday and what you see a child today definitely adds something new to our understanding of our own children. So therefore, it is just like a beautiful package, right? Maybe शादी में देते ना वो बोने साहब को, so ऐसा रैप करके देते, एक एक कवर खोलते 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 it goes on like sorry. So a child gets revealed day by day. It is said that once a principal was asking a child, how old is your father? The child told 10 years. Fellow, I'm asking not your age, I'm asking your father's age. Yeah, tell me how old is your father, like parent. Then the child told 10 years. This principal thought he lost his mind and he asked me, tell me, third time he asked, how old is your parent? Sir, as a parent, my father is only 10 years old. So it's true. It sounds like a joke, but it is very much true. And maybe though we are born with two identical twins, but still there will be a difference between both the kids. So you cannot apply the bringing up knowledge of one child exactly in bringing up of the other child. So you have to definitely reinvent. That is the reason, by all means, we are all created in different images, not in duplication, isn't it? So every child is a different entity, and for parents to know about the child is really important. And I don't say it is difficult, but it's a very adventurous journey knowing your own child. So how to know the child? Unless we know the children, we'll not be able to really guide them and help them. Hello, ma'am, both of you. Keep your phones aside. Look at me. You're reading a book? Hello, sir. Is it related to my talk? Can you please stand up? What's the name? Don't take mommy's permission. Interact with me. Hello, sir. What's the name? Shreyan? Surya. Okay. Hello, Surya. How are you? Good. Are you sure that after 25 years from now, you will have another child sitting here who belongs to you? Yes or no? They are all sure, isn't it? Yeah. You kids, you will have your child sitting like this, isn't it? After 25 years from now. So what I talk now to Surya will be useful to that little Surya after 25 years. So pay your attention here, right? If you feel like clapping, you can. Please don't hesitate, okay, right? So for me, everyone sitting in this place is very important. You may be thinking, my wonderful student is here, Varsha. Our little daughter also is here, and she's also absorbing through her observation what's happening here. I don't consider she's not an inactive participant in this session. She's also an active participant, but at her own pace, in her own capacity. How many of you think that when will the real learning starts? Is it 1 year old child or 3 years old child or 5 years old child?
It starts from day one. It's for the parents.
Varsha tells it's 3 months. Day one, yes. Anybody else? Yeah. The latest neuroscience reveals that from 5th month, the child starts learning the child. Maybe it must be a story in Mahabharata, like Abhimanyu heard, like Arjuna and Subhadra were talking about Padma Vyuham. Okay, but the present science reveals that learning happens. It's not the linguistic learning, but the emotional learning. How the mother feels, what the mother thinks, what is the emotional mood of the mother. This all gets into the head of the child. Thus, the individual is formed. That is the reason in our culture, a mother who is pregnant, a woman who is pregnant is taken utmost care, and we try to keep her healthy, happy, isn't it? That is one of the very important reasons. So now, if at all we have to think about caring a child, so our planning should start from where? When the child is in the womb itself. Womb to tomb, we do say, isn't it? So the learning begins from the womb. A good parent, nowadays it is said that there is one famous physicist, like a scientist in physics. She was doing her lot of research in physics, carrying her child in the womb. And the surprising thing is, after the child is born, from her third year onwards, she became so well versed with the principles of physics. Okay, so it shows that what you think more will become the thinking of your child also. Yes.
Yeah, it's true actually. It happened with me. So I used to art so much when I was pregnant. And my daughter now, she's very used with the pens and books. So she's very used and she knows how to hold a pen since she was like 11 months.
Sorry, Varshini, with all due appreciation, most of the women who are sitting here are thinking, why didn't Varshini tell this when we are pregnant? Okay, all appreciation to you. Okay, so yes, it's never too late to learn certain things and never too late to adopt, to benefit our kids. Yes. So from there the journey of the child starts. So lovable parents, it is like every child's life, when you see of their performance and their fruits of life, what would you want them to do when they attain the age of 25 years age and thereafter? Sri Raj is here. Sri Raj parents, when Sri Raj becomes about 25 years old, what is that you want to see in him? Okay, as a let us take the physical attributes. Okay, you want to see him at least not this height, I suppose, isn't it? When he's 25 years age, isn't it? You want him to be taller than mother. If he's taller than father, wow. Okay, you feel so. When they start wearing the parents' shoes, when they fit to them, parents really think that, oh, my child is growing, isn't it? So, every parent has 5 expectations about their children. 5, these are the fundamental expectations parents will have about their kids. The first one is physical attributes. Okay, in fact, I requested Mata to provide you some notepads so that you can note down how this ma'am is noting down, because what we hear is mostly lost in 1 hour, 50%, and 90% is lost in 24 hours. So it is better note down. Okay. So what happens? All the 5 expectations parents would have is, by the time the mother gets pregnant, father and mother will keep thinking, isn't it? They look for the best choices. So if you both are there, sorry, because you are in front of me, I'll be taking a couple of examples about you. Okay, so they will be thinking, Array, if the child gets your color, it should be better. No, 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 your height. No, 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 your nose. No, your hair. Isn't it like, so there will be kind of expectations the parents will be having when the child is still in the womb itself. Okay, sometimes they may share it, sometimes they may think about it. Okay, so expectations, they start before the child is born. That is about the physical features of the to be born child. So then second, like health, okay, height, color, features, all that they come under the physical features. Second one is about the mental and intellectual features, isn't it? So when the child starts, like today, maybe that little thin girl, Reina, when she started coming to answer a question, I think who will be the most happiest? Her mother. Oh, she'll be thinking, oh, see how nicely my daughter is going and taking the mic and answering these questions. Whether she tells anything or not. Of course, yes, that mental and intellectual. When the child takes your mobile and starts swiping and finding something, and when they surprise you with their performance with a gadget or anything, you feel that my child is more enough intelligent. Okay, that gives you a feeling of pride. That expectation. Second is expectation. Whether with a book or whether with a gadget or whether it is a question or whether with an answer or whatever it may be. Okay, their mental, intellectual horizons. We have expectations always. And the third one is, yes, you call it professional, right? Yes, professionally. When they excel, when they go beyond your professional or career levels, maybe in terms of position or pay scale or whatever it may be. Okay, now here my friend's grandson is here, Mr. Ganesh. He calls his parents and tells tomorrow, I got a H1B and I got a good placement and this is my package. You know what happens? Not only just the parent, the entire family feels like, yes, there is a professional increment or development. Yes, that expectation is the third expectation. The fourth expectation is the social expectation. Now say for example, what Marta is doing. Okay, shall we all put our hands together for Marta? Doing such a wonderful job. Okay, what Marta is doing, yes, taking care of the society, getting into the society. Somebody where is that gentleman missing? Yeah, what's his name? Harin. Yeah, taking care of 1,200 children, something like that. Okay, tomorrow, one of your child, okay, when you are entering the city, you see a banner on which there is a welcome note and your child's photo is there for an achievement, social recognition. Whether being a dancer or a speaker or an achiever or a winner in a competition. Yes, so say socially, you had a car, your child gets a better car than the car you had. You have a house, but your child has a better house in the society than the house you built. Okay, that gives you that expectation. Definitely makes a parent feel proud. Can you tell me what is the thumb? Now, one is the physical, the second is the mental intellectual, the third is professional, fourth is social, and fifth one is? Can anybody guess? Spiritual, of course. Cultural. These are all, I think, are included in social itself, right? Okay. Yeah, when they live beyond our age, isn't it? We all expect that. అంతే అంటారు కదమ్మా, నా ఆయుష్ కూడా పోసుకొని grow more than I lived. Okay, so we wish our children excel, exceed us physically, mentally, intellectually, professionally, socially, and even the length of life they live or lead in this world. We want them to exceed that. These are the 5 basic expectations. And to make these 5 expectations happen in the lives of our children, we need to have a plan, a strategy, and understanding. And without that, okay, like we might achieve couple of them, but it is very difficult, okay, to have a comprehensive growth. I think when we were all in 5th grade or 6th grade, we might have studied about one concept called balanced diet, isn't it? So there should be a proper or sufficient, okay, carbs, proteins, vitamins, right, minerals. You take all these, like they should be in proper combinations. Okay, yes, parenting also should be a balanced parenting. Just like a balanced diet helps the individual to grow healthy, balanced parenting is very, very important. Then what are the components of the balanced parenting? How we do it? Psychologists have made like a very clear categorization of types of parenting. When I talk about it, I wish you definitely get into that style of parenting and understand what parenting style you have. Okay. And much of the evolution of the child's personality will be based on the parenting style we have. Of course, both the father and mother might not be having similar parenting style, but it is good that if they have similar parenting style, okay, that how to achieve that also we can really talk about it. The first one is how many types of parenting we have? 4. How many? I need interactive. Show me. Okay, right. If I show the wrong one, you will not clap. If I show the right one, you will clap. Okay? Keep your hands ready for that. So how many types of parenting we have? Sorry. How many types of parenting we have? Okay. We have 4 types of parenting. Oh, sorry. How many types of parenting we have? Yeah, this is one way of involving people's attention, right? So, we have 4 types of parenting. First one is permissive parenting. बच्चा जो करना मन चाहते, like parent allows them to happen, that's all. It so happens that like even at midnight 12 o'clock also the child wakes up and tells मुझे Cadbury चाहिए अब. Okay, the parent somehow tries to get it and give, or else goes out and fetches it. Okay, so parent is completely, so whatever the child asks for, says, is an order in the family, and parent is ready to do it. Okay, so some of the children are smiling, laughing. So you see some of the parents like that, right? So that is permissive parenting. Dil mange more, right? Whatever I ask, no hesitation. That I want it, that's all. When they go to shopping, they'll tell, I want this. The other day one mother was telling, I like my daughter pick up anything she likes without seeing the tag. Okay, price tag, right? Okay, brand or price tag. Okay, she likes, okay, yeah, of course. I think her other child is not like that, it seems. Mommy, I like this and this. Whichever you like, you take it. Yes. So, one is permissive parenting, but in this kind of a parenting, the child becomes more arrogant. Tomorrow, he cannot adjust in the society. He wants everything to be done at his choice. Okay. If not, he will be more disappointed or depressed or become argumentative and so on. Second type of parenting. What is the first type of parenting? Permissive. Okay. Right. Second type of parenting is dictatorial parenting. Quite opposite to this. Do only as I tell. Nothing doing. Okay. Do only As I tell, see, Raj is reacting. Yeah, do only as I tell. That's all. You know nothing. You are very young. Okay, you cannot take a proper decision, right? Okay, so therefore, I know more. I am more responsible. I am more experienced. That's the reason. Don't ask questions. Do what I tell. That's it. Don't waste your time, my time. Don't make me feel angry. Okay, this is dictatorial parenting. Okay, completely contra to this one. So, in such a parenting, the child always becomes a dependent. Okay, tomorrow after he gets married also, he want to call and ask mommy, my wife is telling like this, what should I do? So, this is kind of like, they become like, they don't develop a kind of confidence in their own judgment. So, they always think, they wait for the approval of others. So, that kind of tendency will be there. So, that is dictatorial parenting. And the third type of parenting. What is the first one? Louder. Second one? Dictatorial. Third one is uninvolved. Uninvolved. Sometimes, like, my question will be like, as a parent, how many of you know who are the close friends of your children? Yeah, very few, might be. Okay. How many of you know, like, their books, their lessons? Sometimes, like, the school I work, Oasis Public School, Warangal, we sometimes conduct competitions to the parents in such a way that, like, the subject teachers will write a question in the slips and they roll it and put it in the basket and ask the mothers of that class to come and pick up. Okay, according to the question, they have to tell to which subject, to which lesson this question belongs to. Unless the parent is involved so much, they will not be able to answer that. So it shows that how much of involvement is there. Generally, mothers give birth to children, isn't it? Like, so what we do is, like, we'll keep all the pre-primary kids sit and cover the faces. Only feet will be seen without the shoes. We'll call the fathers and ask, look at the feet and identify your child. We'll ask the children to write a paragraph on a page, okay? We'll roll them, we'll number them, okay? And put them in a basket and ask the father and mother to come and pick up and see that which handwriting is your child's. Unless the parent is involved, okay, in their education so much, it is difficult. We'll call the parents and tell father and mother to sit and ask them, come on, take this slip. Okay, you take a slip, you take a slip. You sit that side, turn that side, you sit, turn this side. Write down, we are telling, which is your child's favorite color? What is your child's favorite sweet? What is your child's close friend? What is your child's favorite place of visit? What is your child's favorite book? Unless the parents are involved, they will never know. These are the kind of things that make us know ourselves, that how much we know our child. The more you know the child, the more the child gets emotionally, physically, mentally, intellectually connected to you. That connectivity is very, very important. You see anywhere in the world, whether it is between the couple or an employee or employer, or a leader or a group or team, or a teacher or the class, or a speaker or the audience, connectivity is very, very important. If connectivity is not established, communication is never shifted from one end to the other end. It is never like given and received, understood or followed. So connectivity, connect before you communicate is very important. So to connect to the child, connect before you communicate is so important that you have to connect in several parameters. And that too positively, without passing comments of judgment. When you start doing that, the child really feels that yes, my parent is interested in knowing about me. My parent has all clear understanding about me, and that relationship, that connection will continue throughout the life. Because whatever the connection pathways that establish in the heads of people, in the hearts of people, yes, is a journey to go long way. The other day I was seeing a parent coming to me and talking like a kind of, she was literally weeping. What did I do wrong with my children? I was never like this with my parents. I was listening to them. I did leave aside arguing. Even I never give a back answer to my parent. But now my children are not listening to me. My children are not understanding what I wanted, what I wish better for them. What did I do? Like she is going to a level that what sin I did do? Okay. It's not what you sinned in a previous incarnation or janma. I don't believe in that, but okay. It is that you didn't take proper care to make your kids understand, connect to you. Yes, ma'am.
This connection that you are mentioning, how much of that responsibility is of the child?
A very beautiful question. Your name?
Swarada.
Swarna. Swarada. Yes. How many of the kids here have the same question? If your intention is 50%, raise your hand only 50%. If it is 100%, raise your hand full. Now I ask. 100%? Only 50%? Right. Okay.
Can we know the question again?
Okay. The question is, this connection, responsibility, how much is not only on the parent but also is on the child. Okay. We consider how much is the responsibility on eating. The parent has to cook. The parent has to decide what is the required food to eat, to be served to the child. Now here is the responsibility on the child or on the parent? Yeah, of course, making sure that eating happens, isn't it? Sending to a good school is responsibility of the parent. How much is it on the child? No, isn't it? What books to buy and read, what food to eat, where to go, what to do. This is all the responsibility of the parents. As long as they are the decision makers on your behalf. Once you start slowly evolving and taking and coming to that stage, then it starts sharing, by the child, and you come to a stage that you decide for yourself, and even you decide for your parents also. Maybe you might have started, Mommy, this dress is not good on you. Don't wear this. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So it happens. It starts happening. Okay. As you keep evolving, this definitely happens. This happens. So my point here is connect before you communicate. You have to connect. Whether you are connected or not is really understandable. Okay. If the child is able to understand what you understand in the way you understand, then your connection is, yes, right. Sometimes parents will be asking, what to do. My child, I tried several ways, several times, but my child remained the same. Once, maybe, I don't know, how many of you know Telangana? Right? Okay, Nizamabad. I was addressing about 3,500 teachers there once. Okay. It's a 3-hour session. I was talking, they have taken a big function hall. I was talking like this, and then I requested one teacher, in the flow of the session, I asked that ma'am, can you please tell me, the parents came with a complaint, the principal also called you. Why this child learning is not happening with this child? Why learning is, repeat, why learning is not happening with this child? Then the teacher told me politely, sir, I will tell that I tried 100 ways, 1,000 times, but the learning is not happening. What to do? I tried 100 ways, 1,000 times. From my end, I did what all I can do. Then I told, ma'am, the child standing there in front of the principal, parents and you will be thinking, ma'am, if you try that one way how I learn, I would have learnt it. Isn't it? If you tried that one way how I learn it, I would have learnt it. You tried 100 ways how you know to teach. The same thing you tried 1,000 times. But you didn't try that one way how I learn or learning happens with me. So now parents, instead of feeling that desperation that though I'm telling, it's not happening, okay, we have to think about what is the other way that really happens or makes it happen with this kind of a child. Sometimes we think that, oh, with my eldest child, I told it happened. Now the same thing, I tried telling this child, but it's not happening. It won't happen. Because eldest child is a different entity, this child is a different entity. So, permissive parenting, dictatorial parenting, and uninvolved parenting. The third is uninvolved parenting. Yes. In the third, the uninvolved parenting, the parent doesn't know what's happening at all. The parent doesn't know what is happening with the child at all. They don't know what is the child's, even sometimes they forget the birthday also. Sometimes like you, if you ask what is your child's class, oh, hey, come here. They are asking my, Shruti's class, what is it? Okay. So, knowing the child in detail is very, very important. Very important. Very much important. Of course, when both the parents are working or like you are completely involved with different kinds of things in the family, you might not give equal emphasis. If you remember, most of you, how many of you have more than one child? Okay. So my question will be, come on, consider yourself. The amount of curiosity, interest, okay, attention you paid to the first child. Honestly tell, were you able to pay for the second child? Yes. See the heads nodded, isn't it? Okay. Yes. Yes. So the second child is privileged one way because there is an adult role model of their age group, so they can easily follow them. But parents will not be giving the same emphasis or attention what they paid to the first child. In a way, they become more confident. I can handle. चलता. अब एक बच्चे से मैं हैंडल करा, दूसरा बच्चे से हैंडल करता हूँ. और third child also, it will happen. That's all. Okay. But the parenting science demands equal share of attention, connection with every child in the family. With every child in the family. So the third one is uninvolved parenting. Uninvolved parenting, the child becomes more careless. He becomes a problem in the family. Either he becomes a kind of like neglected, revengeful, because he will be considering how other children are cared. When there is a PTM, parent-teacher meeting in the school, every parent comes. This father either forgets or doesn't know or is not interested. And like when the teacher asks, what about your parent? The child feels so much bad for not having their kids in their parents in the school. So this is sometimes like that uninvolved parenting is something that which makes the child either become a social problem either for others or for himself also. Neglectful feeling will start happening with the child. The fourth one, this is the one most desired parenting style, and that's called democratic parenting. It's called democratic parenting. Can you please repeat? First one? First one? Louder? Second one? Dictatorial. Yes. Third one? Uninvolved. Fourth one? Democratic. Democratic parenting. Democratic parenting will have a lot of patience. Will have a lot of patience. They try to talk to the child. They don't impose. Rather, there won't be a language of I told do it. Won't be there. We decide. Okay, chalo beta, now what to do? Okay, you tell your opinion, I tell my opinion. Okay, you tell the benefits of your opinion, I tell the benefits of my opinion. Let us decide which has the better benefits. That's it. Okay, I didn't think the way you thought, maybe your thought is correct. Okay, let me withdraw my thought and go by your thought. Sometimes, the child feels like, yes, I am. Yes, I can do. So the confidence the child gets in such a parenting and the connectivity that happens is going to push the child into the society in such a way that he walks with his head held high. Because at home, he felt that I can convince, I can make decisions, I can really, you see, when if the children are able to convince their parents, they will think that I can convince the world. This is the opportunity we have to give the children. We must make the child feel that I have a better point, I can convince. Or rather, yes, others have better point, I can accept it. So that kind of a democratic parenting will help the children to tomorrow become the best. So come on, keep all this in your mind and think that for each of your child, you have taken about 25 acres of land. Okay, for each child. Consider, right? On each child's name, you have taken 25 acres of land. In that, you wanted to plant the best fruit and flower, trees or plants or whatever it may be. Okay. After a point of time, 5 to 10 years, when you go to that garden, you wanted to see beautiful mangoes, beautiful apples, beautiful guavas, beautiful cherries, all kinds of fruits, all kinds of flowers. Okay, what do you mean by this? If their life is like a field of garden, right? Now, if you want them to have good communication skills, a tree that provides you the fruits of communication, behavior, consistency, dedication, determination, all these qualities, all these qualities, when you wanted to see in the child, what the parents need to do, what the gardener has to do first? You have to sow. You have to sow the saplings or the seeds first and cultivate them. Take care of them until the fruits keep coming out of that garden. So purposefully we have to pick the best flower saplings or the fruit saplings or seeds and should plant them and do that. So if you want your child to be a good communicator, you have to start sowing those seeds or giving those opportunities. Say for example, today we have seen Suchir taking the mic and talking. Maybe the parents might have given that opportunity to communicate. That confidence level that the child exhibited. Maybe some of the parents sitting here might be thinking, my child also if goes like that and speaks, how nice it would be. Yesterday we have seen one girl doing a beautiful dance. So many parents who are sitting in that congregation or group might be feeling, why not my child? Or if at all my child also dances like that, how nice it would be. But for that mother and father to observe the child, realize that the child is gifted with that talent, and taking the child, encouraging her in the school programs, getting her participate in the school programs, taking her to a guru, taking regularly for 5-6 years, then comes that level of performance. Okay, it doesn't happen just like that. So, observation, okay, identification, then cultivation, okay, then getting into that level of consistent. Sometimes we do things, but we don't do it consistently. Unless we do it continuously and consistently, we will not be able to take that level of performance to that peak or that grade of appreciation. So, parents have to be keen observers of their children, and especially, I'm talking, you don't talk. So, especially, it so happens, as we have seen in these 4 types of parenting, first one is permissive parenting. Okay, in permissive parenting, you don't identify what is to be encouraged and what not to be. Simply, we think that, okay, because my child, I love my child, I wanted to show so much of love on my child. I wanted to prove to my child that whatever they ask, I will be able to do. Or sometimes we feel that because in my childhood, my parents were not in a position to give what all I asked, so therefore I should give away what all my child asks. Because of that reason, sometimes we become permissive. At that point of time, in that parenting style, we will not be able to identify and choose what are seeds and what are weeds. Isn't it? There will be seeds as well as weeds also. When you are planting certain things, okay, there are purposefully you choose and plant certain saplings or trees or plants. But along with them, some weeds also will be growing. Okay. So if you don't recognize what are seeds and what are weeds and separate the seeds from weeds, then the weeds and seeds both grow together, and sometimes which one grows faster? Weeds. Yes. Weeds grow faster. The child, instead of having desired qualities, will be infested with undesired qualities. So that's the reason we should have a parenting that which in permissive parenting this doesn't happen. Okay, when we come to the second parenting, what is the second parenting? Dictatorial parenting. Dictatorial parenting, we will not be able to identify what is child's choice. What is child's choice or what is child's mood and need. We will be only driven by, I know it all, only I tell you follow, that's all. Okay, so in such a parenting, the innate abilities of the child may be ignored or rather may not be identified. So that is also one of the reasons the child will not grow. A great educationist and a researcher in the field of education and psychology, Harvard Gardner, has come up with multiple intelligence theory. You can please write it down. You can Google also, MIT. Multiple intelligence theory. Okay. So in that, earlier we considered that intelligence is all like either linguistic, verbal intelligence, numeric intelligence, or aptitude intelligence. Okay. But no, based on these 3 parameters, people used to decide what is your IQ. Okay? But Harvard Gardner has said that intelligence is not limited to only these 3 areas, and he identified 8 areas. 8 areas. The first one being verbal intelligence. Verbal intelligence. If you have your children talking a lot, using a lot of words, okay, they are interested, like very talkative children, that is the very beginning indicator that they are verbally intelligent. And such children, if you identify them in the early stages and start nurturing them, encouraging them, what is my last word? No, I asked her. You are prompted by others. Like as a teacher, I do this. So talking, I stop somewhere in the middle and identify who is not focusing and ask them what is my last word. So then remaining all will keep alert. Isn't it right? Okay, they'll get it. Okay, so that basic ability or talent of the child will be seen from the childhood. Sometimes it is very tough for the children to understand. When the child is to talk, we keep them telling, Nana, say Amma, Nana. We encourage them speaking. Over a period of time, the same parent who was requesting, demanding, pursuing the child to speak, starts telling, stop speaking, how much you talk, keep on talking, what is this? Okay. So the child will get confusion. Hey, you are the same who asked me to talk because you are requesting me, pursuing me, because you are encouraging me. I kept on. I learned to talk. Now you tell, stop talking. How much you talk? What is all this talking? Sometimes we go to an extent of telling, what nonsense are you talking? Whether what I am talking, don't you understand the sense in my talking? So who is nonsense? Those who don't understand the sense or those who have sense? So this question comes to the child. They may not be able to explicitly, tell it to us, but they keep thinking. So verbal intelligence is the one, the child who speaks. See, we all have these 8 intelligences, but in high and low, some genius people will have most of these intelligences in very high. Some of those we sometimes call, isn't it, dumb or stupid or idiot, something like that. They might be having these intelligences in a lower level. The first one is verbal intelligence. The second one is numeric intelligence. Numeric intelligence means they have the talent of playing with numbers. Sometimes we struggle to make a calculation, an addition. They'll simply tell, 36 plus 64, it's just 100. They tell, you have to do a lot of struggle, So, the children who have that ability, so these children with verbal intelligence, those children who have this verbal intelligence, they will either become the writers, poets, speakers, teachers, all these kind of opportunities they have. Those with the numeric intelligence will become engineers, accountants, like statisticians. Those who have this kind of number sense or requirement of numbers. That is the second one. What is the first one? Verbal intelligence. What is the second one? Numeric intelligence. Third one is musical intelligence. Even until I know about this theory, when I sit in the car, if any child walking along the car, if he hits on the body of the car, tuck, 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 and goes. What is this fellow? He hasn't the control on his fingers, is what I used to think. But later on, I realized that this fellow is born with musical intelligence. Maybe in your family also, when they sit for dining on the table, If the serving is getting late, they hit on the plate. Tick, 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 tuk, 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 dum, 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 isn't it? They make some sounds, rhythm. Okay, these are the children born with musical intelligence. These are the people, they become someone like A.R. Rahman or Mangalampalli Balamurali Krishna. Like they know the rhythm, they know that kind of musical ability they have. So these people, once they hear something, they will be able to repeat it because they are born with that intelligence. So that is musical intelligence. And the fourth one being spatial intelligence. Spatial intelligence, like somebody told, I think Varsha told just now, because I draw, my daughter also is able to like draw well. Yes, true. Musical intelligence then comes to sometimes, like I remember we conducted a art exhibition in our school. So one parent who came saw that the child who got the first place, then the mother thought, I should teach my child also to become an artist. And she sent her for art school and all that. Special tutor she has kept and all that has happened. But ultimately, what happened? The child, whenever the mother was trying to ask him to draw a Nandi, he was drawing, but it was looking like a Pandi. So sometimes it happens. If the child is not born with that talent, you cannot really push the child to do that. But some children, one pencil point, they put a dot and make a beautiful picture of it. Sometimes when the children come from home from school, and they are interested to take papers and first start drawing. If the parent becomes anxious or nervous and else on the child saying that, first do homework, what is all this nonsense? You are all wasting the papers. No. The child failed to, the parent failed to realize and recognize the intelligence of the child, that is spatial intelligence. How many of you, while seeing in the clouds, you felt like there are some shapes of elephants, rabbit and all that? True? Yes, you all have that spatial intelligence. If you try, you will definitely become a good artist. That's the fourth intelligence. Then the fifth intelligence. The fifth intelligence is bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Yes, those who have the talent, they can exhibit their talent through their body. Maybe sports persons, gymnasts, actors, all that. Like say for example, if Virat Kohli, if he is able to really score well, is because he positions his body and uses the bat with his body, to play it. The other day, Messi, why? Like using the body, he had that talent or skill, intelligence to use the body, either in sports, actors, dramatists, gymnasts, all these, they know how to use their body to exhibit their talent. If you identified in your child, the child is playing with a ball, or saw the music and is like moving his body rhythmically, you identify that. Such kind of children either can be promoted or trained to be good at sports, kind of acting, or gymnasts, acrobats, anything of that sort. So identify your child's talent. What is the first one? Verbal intelligence. The blah 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 talkers. If you identify and push them, they might become poets, writers, lyricists, speakers, teachers, professors, novelists, anything of that sort. Second one is numeric intelligence. When they are good at playing with numbers, identify and train them up. They might become accountants, statisticians, engineers, even software engineers, all that kind of a thing. Then third one is musical intelligence. Yes, if your child's vocals are good, or if they have that like inclination towards using or playing the instruments, they might become a good like musicians, okay, or singers, instrumental players, whatever it may be. Fifth one is spatial. Fourth one is spatial intelligence, right? Spatial intelligence, yes. Well, Ravi Verma, M.F. Hussain, okay, all these, Leonardo da Vinci, all these people are born with enormous spatial intelligence. They know how to use the canvas, the colors, okay, the brush, the paint, the chisel, the hammer, okay, to make images. Yes, identify. Then the fifth one is bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Yes, using your body. If the child wanted to dance on something, yes, come on, send them. Okay, do that. Then sixth one is interpersonal intelligence. Interpersonal intelligence. You know, if your child, sometimes when a child, Prish, are you here? What is that sixth one? Interpersonal intelligence. Can you all put your hands together for his attention? Very good, well done. So this is also one way, like next time another child wants to get clapped and therefore he will be attentive, right? Okay. So sixth one is interpersonal intelligence. Interpersonal intelligence is like all these great leaders, like Lenin, Hitler. Of course, he is a negative leader, but there is a great leader in Hitler, Mussolini, okay, Gandhi, all these. Now, even you take President Trump, anybody, all these leaders, they have interpersonal intelligence because they know, they are more empathetic. They know other person's needs. So that's the reason they are more forward, okay, to come and help. You can see one Zubair Saab here, okay, having interpersonal intelligence. So they are more empathetic. They know how to lead people, okay. So that's the reason people who have that automatically, you might be seeing, mostly women here might be knowing, Amma, మీరు హైదరాబాద్కి వెళ్ళి కదా ఎట్లుంటారు అంటే ఒక ఆమె వస్తుంది అంటే 10 మంది ఆడవాళ్ళు వచ్చి అక్కడ జమ అవుతారు కదా. Like when a woman comes, like a lot of people get gathered around her. Because she has that interpersonal intelligence, she can attract people. But 10 మంది ఉన్న దగ్గరికి ఒక ఆమె వస్తుంది అంటే అందరు ఎటోళ్ళు అటు వెళ్ళిపోతారు. Like they keep going away from there because she is not good at interpersonal intelligence, right? Interpersonal intelligence, when you identify, come on, help your child to lead, to be a class representative or a volunteer or someone like that. So when you start getting them involved in that way, they really grow up. Seventh one is intrapersonal intelligence. Intrapersonal intelligence. You know, those people who write diary, they do everything in a planned way, okay. They do that planning and all that, everything in a systematic way. These are the people like who become psychologists, psychiatrists, philosophers, gurus, okay. All these kind of like people who are in these kind of like professions or careers, they are all the people gifted with enormous intrapersonal intelligence because they think, they have an inner insight, okay. They do lot of internal thinking. So intrapersonal intelligence. Then the last one is naturalistic intelligence. How many of you are praised for your cooking? Women? Oh, sorry, men also is no exception. Right. Then you are gifted, okay, with naturalistic intelligence. How many of you love plants? How many of you love animals? How many of you love to watch the sunset or sunrise or the clouds or the tides and all that? Okay, yes, if you are really nature's lover, okay, you use your intelligence, like even cooking also. I think here is Venkat, manchi chef, kya karte? Like, he knows how much of each of the components to be put and when to put. Yes, because he is gifted with naturalistic intelligence, he makes the things very tasty. Okay, so that is naturalistic intelligence. All those veterinary doctors, okay, florists, uh, all these chefs and all these people, they are gifted with enormous naturalistic intelligence. So these 8 intelligences are there in every child. Okay, but they are in different combinations. But sometimes, like, certain intelligences will be dormant, they will not be visible until some competition comes or some association happens. Okay, unless some opportunity pushes them. Okay, and thus the internal talent will come out, which is been kept suppressed all these years. So therefore, now I hope we will stop here for just a while and start thinking, isn't it? Now, how much we know our child? How much we know our child? If we know our child in all these areas, okay, in all these areas, then we know how to lead them and encourage them. Because in their talent area, if you identify and recognize and encourage them, automatically they get that kind of a recognition, that encouragement, that satisfaction, and then they will be able to also think of satisfying you, encouraging you. That is the secret. That is the secret. If you snuff, if you really suppress, if you really discourage them in their talent area, because of the dissatisfaction that is developed in them, they will become a kind of revengeful. You don't allow me to do what I like, therefore I don't do what you like. Because you don't allow me to do what I like, I don't do. It is not an exception to adults also. Okay, you, like, maybe any mother or any wife, if she wanted to go to her mother's place for an important occasion, if the husband denied that, okay, declined her request, what will be the next day's response? You know pretty well, isn't it? No welcoming. In the evening when you come home, the door will be open, but the eye contact will not be there. Only back contact will be there. The dining table will not be properly set. Itna hua, bas. Yeah, I don't feel good, okay. It continues till tomorrow morning also. So that is the general human tendency, and kids are not an exception to that. This point I wanted to emphasize. Kids are not an effect. They might not be so explicitive. Okay, in conscious mind you might be driving the child to obey you, but subconsciously the child has decided to be disobedient to you or non-cooperative to you. So it is very important for the parents to understand whether the child is consciously and subconsciously is willing to accept with the parent or not. That level of looking into the child, that intelligence or that knowledge, that ability to look into the child is very important for the parent. Parenting is not ashamashi. Okay, parenting is not that easy to do. Okay, if you really wanted that 25 acres of your garden to be full of, okay, that beautiful flowers and yielding tasty fruits, okay, different types of fruits, okay, then you got to sensibly start knowing all these things and start putting things into them. Very important, very important. Then the real, you see, there is a beautiful poem. How many of you know Telugu? Okay, I'll recite and explain it to you. పుత్రోత్సాహంబు తండ్రికి పుత్రుడు జన్మించినప్పుడు కలుగదు, జనులా పుత్రును కనుగొని పొగడగా పుత్రోత్సాహంబు నాడు పొందురు సుమతి. The meaning is, just the child is born is no happiness. But when the people recognize the child's achievements and talk about the achievements of the child, then the parents get the real happiness of having the child. Okay, so for the child to be recognized by the world, first the child need to be recognized by the family, the parents. Yes. Before the child contributes into the world, let the child start contributing in the family and get the appreciation of the parents. Because parents are the people who know the best about what the child is and how the child needs to be. And in this world, when my second session, or rather part of this talk, will be like, how was your parenting? How is your child's parenting now? What is the difference? Or how you are as kids, like most of you are generation Y or millennials and so on. Your children are generation alpha. Okay, so there's a difference between the childship of your generation and their generation. Sometimes, like, as kids, were you not thinking that my parents were not able to properly understand me? Yes or no? Yes or no? My parents are not doing what I want them to do. Same thing happens with your kids also, but it is happening in a different way. The magnitude is different. The intensity is different. You might not have dared, you don't have that social acceptance in those days to tell your parent, I don't like this. But your child is? Your child is?
Upfront they say.
They are more dared enough to tell that. They are open enough to tell that. So I would rather tell you, there's a lot of course, I have a lot of literature to show you, okay, and talk to you. Parenting is not that what happens in 2 hours of session, honestly speaking. Okay, in many countries, parenting is a course. Okay, it's a course. It's of at least minimum it requires 40 classes, to understand, to know the child. Only I'm able to give you the introduction today. I'm going to open the floor for questions, but let us understand that if you want a generation and a nation to be built properly, okay, it should start from the family. And the responsibility, the maturity is not in the child, but it is in the hands of the parents. As we get to know what different I can make than what I'm at present doing, then the difference happens. Then the change happens. I will now would like to start with some questions about the problems or the areas that where you are not clear with your parenting as a mother or father. Okay, surely. You have an extra mic? Cordless mic, or there's only one mic? Okay, it's okay. I'll take this mic, and one of you, can you please help? Pass on issues. I'll take this.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please introduce yourself.
Yeah,
Can I have you? Yeah, come on.
My name is Neelam,
Neelam.
and I think only our family is Maharashtrian over here.
I should appreciate Neelam's families because when I came here to attend this session, they are the first people to come for this meeting. Can we put our hands together and appreciate them?
Thank you.
Tell, please.
So my question is, like, as a parent, we are really struggling with the screen time. So how to approach like nicely? If we say directly no to them, we are like their enemies. And at the same time, I want to become their friend. And as a parent, I am failing in that area, so I need your help with that.
Yeah, Neelam ji, I have three things to comment on your question. First one is the problem you have raised here is at present universal problem. Okay, how many of you don't have this problem? Raise your hand. Oh, you don't have this problem, right? Okay, Smruti has might be having an answer for this. Okay, we'll take answers from already those who don't have this problem. Good. Second, how many of you have this problem severe in the family? Severely, you are facing this problem. Moderately, how many of you? Somebody is stopping someone's hands. Mother want to raise the hand, daughter is holding it. Okay, yes. Okay, good. I tell you, the beginning of this problem doesn't start with the child, it starts with the parent. As I told you, like you are the child to start walking, isn't it? Arey Nana, one step, another step. Oh, you are come. Then after a period of time, you started. Why are you running? Can't you sit at one place? Don't run. Be there. You give the mobile to the child. You give the gadgets to the child. You get them used to it. When they get the taste of it, then you are the one who wanted to stop it. So you started it unmindfully. You gave them the taste, and sometimes, you wanted to buy time, right? You are unable to engage them, and thus you wanted to engage them differently. Technologically, you wanted to engage them without human engagement. Okay, so thus it happens like that. So, but there are alternates. I think one of the participating mother is here. Can you please pass on mic to Smruti? Can you, ma'am, share how you were able to keep your children away from that kind of a screen time and other things?
I mean, they are not completely void of the screen. They have their own TV time and all. But the first thing, basic thing we did is we have not given my daughter. She's the oldest. I have two kids, 12 and 6. She doesn't have a phone. We consciously made a decision that we are not going to give her phone till she reaches a certain age and she's responsible. So any communication that she gets through her friends, it comes through my husband's phone. That's the only point of contact she has. So my husband screens all her messages. If there is something that she needs to respond, we'll give her the phone. She's right there. We're sitting right here. So I think the conscious decision we did was not giving her own personal device. So that's how. But usually weekdays, we don't let them watch TV. Saturdays, it's an exception. They watch for 2-3 hours at a time sometimes. But that's about it. So, yeah.
Yes, there are three things that Smruti shared with us. First thing is, don't give them the privilege until they have the ability to understand the usage of it. Second thing, there should be scheduling. Okay, the whole family should sit together and come to an understanding. Nana, what time to what time, what program shall we watch? Right. Second thing is that one. And third thing is, basically this is very important. There is a very thin line between privacy and risk. Privacy and risk, there is a thin line between privacy and risk. Because our children are getting into the society that where similar values, principles may not be governing the children of other families. The kind of abusive language they use, the type of things they share on the mobile, the type of discussions they make. If parents' own phone is a point of contact to others, automatically we can prevent these things. So, as the saying goes, prevention is better than cure. Prevention is better than cure. So, mindfully and strategically, the parents should keep the children away from screen time. Or you have to sit and decide. Mostly, this kind of decision should be made during the dinner time. Okay, you have to have an agenda book. Please, everybody make a note of that. In a family, there should be an agenda book. Okay, you have to put it and write the agenda. Nana, what shall we discuss this Saturday? Okay, family discussion time. We have to have, Nana, put your points, your point. Mama, you put your point. Dada, you put your points. Make one of the child responsible. Make your daughter responsible. Ask her to gather the agenda points and keep it. Okay, thoroughly before the dinner is arranged. Come on, sit together, give enough time, contemplate on that, ponder on it, come on, decide. Okay, Nana, we will decide. And you are the in charge to see that it is not violated by anybody in the family. Finish. So thus, everybody accepts that. Okay, now TV watching. Only you this much time, you this much time. What is your preferred program? What time it comes? Okay, that's it. Right, it is done, accepted. Okay, who is in charge? Somebody is in charge, not we. Make them only the in charges of that. So that way, we have to also openly discuss and tell the kids like too much of watching, how it attracts, okay, and affects obesity, headache, neural problems. So the attention, when it is grabbed by the devices, then in the classroom tomorrow, they don't have any attention available, okay, to pay for the lessons that they are watching. So therefore, the attention has to be retained so that they carry it, okay, tomorrow to the classroom and pay it in the lessons, pay it on the lessons. So that is how we have to discuss with them and tell them, and I advise you, the best way of decision making is not I, but we. We. And always use that inclusive talk. Nana, we are not going to see. Nana, we are not going to violate this. Don't accuse by pointing a finger, you are not going to violate. Nobody likes being pointed out like that. We can say it as we. Okay? And sometimes we have to accept when we violate. See, for example, if Bharat is getting the mobile to dining table, so if there is a decision taken in the family, no mobiles at the dining table, Bharat also has to accept, Jubair Sahab also has to accept, everybody has to accept that. If anybody tells, Nana, today I am getting an important call, please excuse me, one exception today. But Nana, don't ask always exceptions. If the child tells that, say, it's alright. Come and do it. And mostly I tell you, in decision making, educate your children, give power to them. Don't keep the power with you. When you give power to them, when they take the decision and when they become the custodians of the decision, they will become more responsible to follow it and they enjoy doing that. Who will not enjoy power? Isn't it? Who will not enjoy power? So give power to the children, but strategically do it. Okay, that's the best way. Yeah, next question please. Thank you Neelam for your good question. It's a universal question. I think we got some solution out of it, isn't it? Everybody? How many of you got a solution? Please raise your hand. Please turn the video once. Whenever people respond. Now, how many of you got a solution for this? Okay, good. Anybody else? Yes. Please pass on the mic there.
One second, I would like to add one more point here.
Yes.
So my elder one is studying USF, almost pre-med. Bangalore is 9th grade. I had same issue I think 4 years back. But the point here, not giving electronic devices, mobile or laptop, not a better solution. My point of view. Don't it wrong way.
No. Every parent has a different way. It is good to know from the success stories from any side is welcome. Please.
Yeah. See the way actually how we handle our kids. We try to educate our kids what importance of electronic devices. For only for communication, not for playing games. So nowadays in middle high school, everybody has access to the internet, direct access, school and home actually. So we cannot monitor 24/7. But the point here, we need to educate them what is important and what is the history of all these things.
That's a beautiful thing. Educate about the uses and consequences. When you educate people and give them the power of choice, then they realize okay, whether their decision is driving them to consequences or usages. Okay, so that's the beautiful thing. Well said.
Yeah, I think initially they made mistakes. Let them experience those kind of things. But later they realized that okay, they started using the mobile devices and electronics, even laptop also, such a like exact what they need. That's it.
So you should have that patience during the transition time. During the transition time, you should have the patience. Don't doubt whether it would happen or not. Okay, but transition takes time. Don't doubt. Okay, good job. Now Smruti.
The last point. So now I'm not worrying about my kid about these mobile devices and laptop. So they are enjoying their work and their work. That's it. So I'm good now. Thank you.
Happy parent.
Thank you.
And at the same time, there are certain apps also that which recently one of my friend is an IPS officer in India, back in India, his son Abhinav, he came up with a device called a Parentverse. Okay, so if you install that in the phone, it will take care of all the usages. Okay, whatever the child is using, how long is, all the analytics of usage, okay, will come to the parent, and child also knows that my parent knows what am I doing with the mobile or internet. Okay, based on that IP or whatever it may be, the parent gets the usage analytics, and there is nothing to worry. Okay, if something is going wrong, okay, that alerts will help the parent to advise the child, okay, what to do and what not to do. So use technology and use brainology, both. Okay, so you can come out of this problem. Yes, Smriti.
Moreover, actually, I can say one thing. I mean, apps also doesn't help that much actually. You know, they know very well how to bypass those things.
No, this app is made. This app is made by experts. Okay, so you can rely on that, right?
I don't have developer for those kind of things. That's what I'm saying. So we know we are here also we have 3-4 apps actually. From Microsoft, there is one more family, something like that. But that won't that much help actually. But the only thing is we educate first of all.
Hare Krishna, we really go with you. So don't depend more on mobile apps. Go with the mental app. Right. So that's the best way. Yes, Smriti.
Okay, I had this discussion before I came here. I feel so helpless with this, so I want your opinion on it. There are few things I tell my daughter to do. To not leave clothes in the bathroom, to hang her clothes when she takes them off. I've tried so many ways. I put point system, I put reward system. Everything is very short-lived. So right before I came here also, I went into her room to check her bathroom and bedroom, which I constantly do to make sure that I'm keeping track. The clothes were again on the bathroom floor. The clothes were not hung but are on the bed. So at this point, after trying so many different things, I feel so helpless. I don't know what to do. If you have anything that worked for you, or everybody here, that you have a system
So
that
I'll take
really
the
helps.
first chance.
Yeah.
I'll take the first chance.
So
Right.
that's where I am at. She's a good kid. She does everything amazing. She has all A's. She's amazing. But this is one thing she's lacking in that I, as a mother, I'm trying, but I'm unable to find a solution.
Yeah, got it. So, two things are important. One is, as I told you, Nizambad, my conference, talking with the teacher. So you tell things in your own way. If they are not working, they don't work with that child is what we have to realize. So there will be ways. So that's the reason Smriti is asking, is there any way that I do not know and I am not using so that it can be used with this child. Second thing is, there are certain things, as I told you, which work with conscious mind and subconscious mind. I told you, of course, this I don't feel inconvenient to share it in front of children, but it is true as far as psychology is concerned. That I told you very clearly just now. Consciously, the child is thinking of obeying, but subconsciously, the child is not thinking of doing that. If the decision is already made in the conscious mind as well as in the subconscious mind, that reminders will always be there. When in the subconscious, basically what we do in the subconscious mind is 90%. What we do in the conscious mind is only 10%. When the strong iceberg, which is below the water, is decided not to listen, not to do that way that is expected, the subconscious is dominating over the conscious. So therefore, the change should come in the subconscious. So there what works is NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Program. So there you have to take the Neuro-Linguistic Program. Means you have to get into the subconscious and get the transformation there. And it needs at least 110 times of repetition. 100 consistently. Again, once you give up, again you have to start 110 times. Okay. So parents have to understand what is NLP also, Neuro-Linguistic Program. Say for example, if a child is walking with one foot inside, okay, like this, you might tell her several times, okay, when she is conscious, she may put her foot straight and walk. Or sometimes girls, they put drooping shoulders and walk, right? You may correct the child, but the child, as long as the correction is in conscious, they do it.